breaking down the walls that confine you from living your truth. So looking at the walls that are built up around us and really breaking down those barriers and looking beyond. Taking us a little bit further, as Zikri mentioned, the Jedi of awesomeness, so I'm one of the lucky few that gets to interview inspiring people from all over the world and talk to them about their dreams and their aspirations and what they're passionate about and help them to be a part of the journey to Awesomeness Fest. So I'm also a CPSA. That means I'm basically a sales guy from my background. Professional sales associate and certified technology specialist. So those are my letters. And a few other in the alphabet, but there was only a certain amount of room on the page. And what I want to talk to you guys about today is looking at those boundaries and thinking about the things in your life that have confined you, that have been struggles, that have been those areas where you really needed growth, and finding your truth. Tapping in where you want to find your true potential. This picture is actually from the Uluwatu Temple. This gentleman on the right is a very inspiring individual who I met at Awesomeness Fest in Bali. And I traveled to Bali. I was lucky enough to be a part of the Awesomeness Fest event again. Round 2 for me, and round 3 coming up in November to Dominicans, so really looking forward to that. Tarek is actually a really inspiring individual that does some pretty powerful things with motivation through movement. If you guys know what parkour is, anybody? Yeah? So parkour is quite an amazing feat. How many people have had challenges in their life or something that just exceeded their expectations or something they wanted to accomplish, they wanted to do, but they thought it was next to impossible, but then they did it? Anybody? How many people failed? Did you get back up? Did you try again? Good on you. So that's really what this is about. He took me through a journey. We went through Uluwatu Temple. This was my first experience, and then we carried on into GWK Cultural Center. Both of these being just amazing, beautiful parts of Bali, and what a wonderful experience it's been traveling through Southeast Asia. I fell in love to a point where I'm actually thinking I might actually move here and make it my home. I've traveled to other parts of the world, but there's something about the power that comes with Southeast Asia and the empowerment that you get and the feeling of passion and creativity and growth and the opportunity. So we're actually standing a couple hundred feet up in the air here, and if you looked over the edge, it's pretty intimidating. But we popped up, and then you get to that point, and you're high up on this peak, and you look down, and then you look out to the water. You look across this beautiful horizon, and you feel this empowerment and this breath of fresh air that comes over you. And then you realize that, once you've conquered that sort of a feat, that sense of empowerment and that growth that you can have and just achieving that new potential can really take you to new heights. So we continued on to the GWK Cultural Center, and we traveled through some different transitions. He took me, for leaps and bounds into different walls, and then we stopped. And he says, okay, I'm going to take you into more of an advanced level. I know you've said that you do, a lot of fitness and training and calisthenics and that, so we're going to try some pretty challenging techniques. So it took me to a wall, and it was about, say from here to the D. And I had to leap from this one crevice. It was about, 15 feet up in the air. So imagine the number about 15 feet up. And then there's a wall at the D, and it's risen up. So it's about 20 feet. And he says, you're going to jump, and you're going to pounce onto that wall. And you're going to leap as high as you can, and then you're going to grab on, you're going to pull yourself up, you're going to stand up there, and you're going to be proud. So I tried it. Nope, didn't do it that time. So go back around again. Okay, I'm going to, no. Mental blocks. There's that point in your mind, that stops you and says, I can't do this. So then you stop. You fail. So finally, I started getting, a little aggressive with it. Okay, I'm going to do it. It's time. Do a little stretch, Go at it, full force. And he says, you're going too hard. So I leaped and smash of the right knee. So I hobble back around again. Was I going to stop? No, of course not. I've got to complete this. I've got to just fight through. I've got to make it. I'm going to do this. So I get back up there again, and this time again, I run at it, smash, other knee. Okay, now it's getting hard to walk. Shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. I go back, and he says, we're going to stop. come with me and we're going to go to some new transitions. So we started moving around the space, and this is just a beautiful environment for parkour. According to Tarek, he says that it's actually the best in all of Bali. So we went through, and there's some other transitions, and we're leaping from one area onto a wall, 80 feet down, and then stop. And then climbing over, and then take another leap to the other side, do a roll, and pop off, and all these crazy moves that I'd never done before. Exceeding my expectations, moving beyond the boundaries, conquering things I'd never really expected or thought that I could do. So we go around, and I started to feel like this charge of energy that's coming over me. And I feel like, wow, I'm really in flow right now. I was really in flow. And I started to find that alignment with myself. And really, it was like inner peace. It was like I all of a sudden spread my wings and felt like I could fly. So he took me back, and we go back around, and he says, okay, you're going to do it this time. I said, of course I am. I'm amped up. So I stopped, I turned, I casually walked, I leapt. And I grabbed the wall, and I pulled myself up, and I stood up, and I stood tall, and I raised my arms, and I felt so powerful in that moment. And he says, that's good. You got to do it 3 times. That's a rule. Okay. Go back again, and I leapt, and I grabbed myself, and I pulled myself up. I did it 5 times in a row. So, thank you. The lesson to be learned. If you think about what this relates to business, if you look at it from a perspective that parkour is about motivation through movement, it's about taking yourself to a higher level. It's about achieving things you never thought you could achieve. And in that moment, I wasn't in my mind. There was no mental blocks. I was in flow. I was at peace with myself, and I just went in. I went hard, and whether I failed or not, I knew that I would keep on going. So I'd like to take you back to a story of where I came from. And so I come from a corporate background. So I've been working for many years in business development, and I actually started out in the business industry selling walls, which is kind of interesting. It was kind of funny when someone would ask me what I do for a living. I sell walls. Okay. So, to get to the nuts and bolts, it was movable wall systems for corporate office space, similar to this. A little fancier than this guy's mini cubicle that he slammed in. And what happened is that I worked through for many years, and I felt sheltered. I felt that I was confined by my own walls. I felt as if, this wasn't a passion for me, it was a job. So I was working to live. And so I continued on, and, I tried to do really well, and I was becoming really successful. I was, going through, and I got my bachelor's. I went to BCIT, one of the technical schools, and well-renowned in Vancouver. So I was doing well, but at the same time, I wasn't fulfilled. I wasn't living my dreams, my passions. I wasn't really doing much for myself. I was doing it to live. I was doing it to work. I was doing it to survive and to, be successful, but it was based on what society told me was success. It wasn't on my truth. So then I continued on, and I discovered the world of technology, which was ever evolving and amazing and inspiring, and I loved it. I fell in love instantly, and I thought, oh, this is where I need to go. So I broke down those original walls, I carried through, and then I fired into this world of working in corporate office space again, but this time I could design really cool technical stuff and automated systems and presentation technology and yada, yada, yada. But what happened is that those walls that I originally built around myself when I was selling the walls, I moved into the corporate world, and I truly became powerful, but I was powerless because the corporation built more walls around me. It was a great business. I did really well and, again, became more successful. But there was shackles around my truth, my heart, and I felt like something was just holding on to me and not letting me be free. So I moved through this experience, and I learned quite a bit from it, and I started to build a foundation and a structure within myself that was helping me to grow. But I was trying to discover where that journey might take me. So really, truly, my success actually became my failure because I was failing myself, and I wasn't following the path that was truly chosen for me. I wasn't following my heart. So I had to let myself free. And that's when I discovered the world of entrepreneurship. It was a difficult step. For quite a few years, I had that security. I had that, that frame of mind that, I needed to make good money and I need to be secure in this position and do the 9-to-5 job and, live that life that really society told me was what it was supposed to be. I come from a background of parents who are amazing. I come from a lot of love in my family, and I'm very blessed for that. My parents have worked very hard their whole lives, and they've given me quite a bit because of that, as far as a home to go back to and a life that's full of love and passion. But I still hadn't been following my heart. So then this brought me to where I am today. Beautiful Bali, beautiful Southeast Asia, Malaysia. Being here on the stage right now, being able to travel and take that leap and break those barriers and go well beyond the walls and see what's on the other side. So on the other side was absolutely beautiful. It was the ability to sit on a beach and get some work done, to work on my laptop from any part of the world, to connect with inspiring people like yourself, to go to fabulous places and go to Awesomeness Fest and get more awesome. And really, that was the most transformational experience that I've had in my entire life. The work that I've been doing since I've been with Mind Valley and Awesomeness Fest and helping them out with the events, helping to bring more inspiring people to these events, it's really changed my life in many ways. And it's opened up a lot of new doors, so it's provided me that freedom to go well beyond any of my expectations, to take that leap and keep on going. So what I'd like to leave you with today is a few key points. Identify your walls. If there's anything that's surrounding you that you feel like you want to do more, you want to go further, you want to try something you haven't tried before, don't be afraid, because if you fail, you can get back up. You can always go and do it again. There's always a way that you can be inspired by what's true to your heart. Follow that path. Don't be afraid of it. And listen to your tribe. They're here to support you. Through Awesomeness Fest and through experiences like this, we have each other. We have each other here to support. Don't be afraid to share those failures, because we're going to help lift each other up. So climb over the walls and take the leap. And take that leap and look what's on the other side, because it could be something really beautiful. Thank you.